Maddie Meek. I use the she series pronouns, and I am the program coordinator for our Global Edge program. Very happy to be here with you all today. I think we can jump right into our dual degree presentation.
My name is Amber Dillon, and I am the assistant director. Amarine, do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Almarine. I'm a senior in the program. I spent 2 years at Sciences Po, and I'm now in my last year at Berkeley. I was in the last campus. You'll learn more about all the campuses throughout this presentation. But yeah, I'm here to share my experience and tell you more about this incredible program.
Thanks. Okay, next slide, Sarah. Okay, so we have, like I mentioned, they're dual degree programs. So what they are is students are going to choose between basically a degree from a choice of 2 institutions, which we'll go over in a second. And each dual degree program will award 2 bachelor's degrees, one from each university in 4 years. So students are going to get 2 full bachelor's degrees, one from our partner institution and then one from UC Berkeley, all in 4 years, which is a great opportunity. Next slide. So we have 2 options. As Amarine mentioned, she is at the Sciences Po program. So we have one in Sciences Po in France, and there's 3 campuses. And then we have one with the University of Hong Kong in Hong Kong, which of course Hong Kong is just one campus. So yeah, you can choose from one of those currently. Next slide. So something to note is that the first 2 years are always at our partner institution. So you're going to start your program at either Sciences Po in France or in HKU. And the second 2 years will always be at Berkeley. And that's always the way the program goes. As I mentioned, you're going to get a bachelor's degree from both institutions at the end of the 4 years. And all courses are taught in English. So you don't need to know French and you don't need to know Mandarin or Cantonese for either of the programs, which is a really nice feature. Of course, if you happen to know the language, that's great, and that can help you with the process, but that is not a requirement as everything is taught in English. And then something great to know about the program with Sciences Po is you are also guaranteed admission to one of the 7 graduate programs at the Paris campus. It's not a requirement, but it is a nice perk of the program. Next slide. Okay, so I'm going to let Amarine talk a little bit about where Berkeley is for those of you that might not know. Amarine, do you want to quickly go over Berkeley?
Yeah, so Berkeley is on the far west coast of the US. You're in sunny California, a 45-minute commute from San Francisco. So a lot of students enjoy heading over to the city during weekends or for events, different activities. You're in the Silicon Valley, so you're really in the center of everything that's tech, STEM, but it doesn't limit you to that field. There's just a lot of diversity within the Silicon Valley that's incredibly enjoyable. And you're in a vibrant campus town. You know, there's so many students at Berkeley, a great student life, lots of clubs, activities, incredible people, and you're surrounded by nature. You're in a great environment. You can go on hikes, watch the sunset, go to the beach. It's just a lovely campus. Next slide.
Then yeah, I'm going to have Amarine go over a little bit in detail about the campuses, but just an overview. So for Sciences Po dual degree, you're going to pick one of the 3 campuses to choose from. All the courses are taught in English, like I mentioned, but all have a specific regional focus. All the courses are going to be sort of the same. It's just going to be in the regional focus that you get a difference within the language and the students that are in the program. And then obviously the relation and where they are in France. Amarine, do you want to talk a little bit more about each of the campuses?
Yeah, of course. So Le Havre is in the north of France in the Normandy region. It's the program that focuses on Euro-Asia studies. So if you're interested in this region of the world, it's definitely the campus for you. You can also have the opportunity of doing the Oceans certificate while you're at Le Havre. But yeah, it's a port city, it's by the water, great student life. Menton is all the way on the other side in the south of France. This is a Middle East and Mediterranean studies focused campus. So if that's your field of interest, then the classes on that campus will be more tailored towards your interests. They do a lot of work with the Northern Africa region. So if you're interested in traveling there for research, that's definitely an opportunity for you there. And it's a stunning campus. It's right on the beach, super enjoyable. I don't know how students there study, but it's just so lovely and a beautiful campus. And then Reims campus is really close to Paris. That's where I was. This is where they do the Europe North America Studies program, and recently the Europe Africa Studies program, which used to only be in French is also now available in English. So these are two tracks that you can choose to do while you're in the Reims campus. And there's also the option of doing a gender studies certificate. The Reims campus is definitely the biggest, but each campus has its own incredible student life. It's super lively, great communities, and you build a great community within your own dual degree cohort that you carry on over to Berkeley.
Thanks, Lamarine. Next slide, Sarah. And then if you're interested to going to HKU, as I mentioned, there's one big campus, so it's about a similar size to what UC Berkeley offers. There's about 25,000 students on the campus. They're a global institution. They're first in Hong Kong. They really are a great option if you're interested in Asia, especially with the travel options that there are. There's a lot of great majors that you can choose from, and so that would be the one choice you have for HKU. Next slide. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the curriculum and majors that students can choose in this type of a program. These type of programs are specific for types of students that have interests. So I'm going to go through those for each of the different campus or each of the different programs and have Amarine also talk a little bit about her experience as well at Sciences Po. Next slide. Okay, so for HKU, there are about 15 majors in the Faculty of Arts and about 5 majors in the Faculty of Social Science that you can choose from. There may be different majors that you can choose from depending on what you're thinking, but this tends to be about what students can choose from. Our most popular are going to be global and area studies, China studies, politics and public administration, and social policy and development. You can choose a major at HKU and then choose a different major at UC Berkeley in the College of Letters and Science, which we'll go over in a little bit. But yeah, they tend to be in these types of fields. There's also a new one in digital humanities that they've added that you can also do. So if any of these seem interesting, I'm happy to talk a little bit more about those options. Next slide. And then in Berkeley, for the dual degree with HKU, there are about 16 majors in the arts and 9 majors in the social sciences, and then about 2 more also in interdisciplinary studies that you can choose from. These tend to be, again, the most popular, but we also have students that have branched out a little bit and done economics, for example. So if you can fit in other majors, it may work. We just need to double check that that's kind of where you feel supported and make sure that those are the right courses for you. The College of Letters and Science is where you would be majoring in for the HKU dual degree. I just want to note, and I'm sure Pete can address this as well from OUA's perspective, from the admissions perspective, but if you intend on a high demand major in the College of Letters and Science, make sure you put that on your application, even if you're applying to a dual degree, because you want to make sure that that's the major you can actually attend when you come back to Berkeley. Next slide. And then, Amarine, do you want to talk a little bit about the academics that you can do at Sciences Po?
Yes, so over the 2 years at Sciences Po, the first year is kind of a core curriculum that everyone takes. So whether at your Le Havre, Reims, or Menton, you're all taking the same interdisciplinary social science foundation. So you're doing some law, some econ, some sociology, some poli-sci, and you also have some electives to choose from. But it's a pretty general core curriculum that really gets you thinking about what to specialize in during your second year. Between your first and second year, and throughout your second going into your third year, you're going to be taking part in the Civic Engagement Project, which is a sort of capstone in which you do 2 internships and kind of cater your classes and your experiences into a paper that you write during your third year, which summarizes your experiences, what you learned, and that comes in the form of a policy paper recommendation or a research analysis. And so you will use internships that you did while you're at Sciences Po and the courses you do during your second year that are more specialized to kind of build this project over your time in the dual degree. As I mentioned, the second year is more specialized, so you'll choose a major. There's 3 majors at all of the campuses. The first is Economics and Society, second Political Humanities, and the third is Politics and Government, which is the curriculum that I did. I really like law and poli-sci, and so that's why I chose to do what we call Pol-Gov, and I had a great time in it, lots of constitutional law, lots of fun poli-sci classes, and then you can also choose a minor in addition to your regional focus. So the 3 minors are international relations, finance and trade, and the third one is thinking like a lawyer, which is like I forget them sometimes, but it's the law focused one. So I did international relations, and it's what really inspired me to then do global studies at Berkeley. So these are great opportunities to specialize in what you're interested in and learn more about the fields within the social sciences. it's important to note that the third year is abroad for everyone at Sciences Po. So everyone going to Sciences Po, whether they're in a dual degree or the regular curriculum, is there for only 2 years. So you're going in and leaving at the same time as everyone else, which doesn't make you feel that you're leaving early, that you're missing out on an experience. It's you're in it with the cohort and you leave with the cohort, which creates a great cohesion and unity within students at Sciences Po, regardless of the dual degree.
Next slide, Sarah. Okay, and then when you come back to UC Berkeley, you'll be in the College of Letters and Science, like I mentioned before. That is with the exception of if you wanted to do environmental economics and policy, you can be in the College of Natural Resources. And so you'd want to make sure you put that down on your application. But the majority of students will be in LNS. You'll select a Berkeley major. Again, if you want to select a high demand major like political economy, you want to make sure you put that major at the time that you apply. Usually you'll stick within the social sciences, but we do have students that branch out to sort of different things. Again, your Berkeley major can align with what you took at Sciences Po, so you could do political science, or you could do a completely different major. Amarine's doing global studies. And it is possible to minor or double major. We have a lot of students that do that and mix and match just because they tend to be pretty flexible once they've completed their Sciences Po degree. Our most popular majors are listed here. But like I mentioned, you can definitely branch out. Amarine is currently doing our UC DC program in Washington, DC. So there's a lot of flexibility within the curriculum at Berkeley once you finish the Sciences Po portion. Next slide. Okay, Amarine, do you want to talk about what happens in the transition?
Yes, so I will say that what's great about this program is that they are holding your hand from start to finish. So you will not feel any stresses or anxieties when you're coming in to Berkeley from Sciences Po. So right when you get into Sciences Po and through graduation, you have one-on-one advising. You have Amber, you have Christina, the other program director, and they are incredible. They connect you with any resource you may need, any question you may have, they are there for you. So don't feel like you're lost in a strange country or don't feel anxious about coming into Berkeley and leaving behind the sense of comfort you may have found amidst 2 years in France. So definitely lots of hope for you along the way in terms of personal, professional, and academic advising. You do get priority enrollment for the fall semester, so that helps you get through your major requirements a lot more easily than other students at Berkeley who might have to fight for their spots a bit more in terms of getting the classes they want. You will also have a 1-week orientation the week before classes begin, where you're also placed with different transfer students or international students, which helps you build community before classes even start and get to know the campus, the students, and the feel for Berkeley. And there's also different presentations and events that the dual BA student organization will host. Notably, they've been doing a picnic at the start of the semester in the last few years where you meet everyone from the other Sciences Po campuses in your cohort, the year above you, and the mentors and different students in the program.
Next slide. Amarine, I think you can do the housing for Sciences Po and maybe Berkeley, but I'll just mention at HKU for the first year, you're guaranteed housing on campus. So they have dorms on campus, sort of similar to what we have in the United States. They're slightly different in the sense that they tend to be themed based on sort of where the student is interested in. But if you're a non-local Hong Kong student, you're guaranteed housing for your first year. And then I've had all the students get the housing that they wanted in their second year. It's pretty much guaranteed their second year, but you could also live off campus if you wanted, but most students choose to live in the on-campus dorms. Do you want to talk about housing at Sciences Po and then at Berkeley?
Yeah, so at Sciences Po, most students their first year live in a co-student housing or other residence. It's most similar to what a dorm in the US would be like, except it's kind of your own space. It's a mini studio within a residence. It's run by the government, so it's super easy to just get a room, not have to worry about the logistics of dealing with a landlord, etc. You can also find your own apartment. A lot of students like this idea of just going into France and having their own independence in their own space, and that can definitely be an option that most second year students choose to do and live with friends during their second year. You can also stay with a French family. And what's nice about France is that they give you government housing subsidies for all students. So regardless of your income or your financial status, it's a sort of universal income that you get. When I was in France, it was around 90 euros if you lived in with a roommate and around 150 euros per month if you lived alone. So this is just money you're getting from the French government even if you're not French, and even if you are in a financially stable situation. And then at Berkeley, you do get guaranteed housing at the International House or at a co-op. These are both incredible options. First of all, it takes away the stress of having to find a place at Berkeley, which can be quite competitive. But second of all, these are great housing options to build community, especially when you're coming from Sciences Po. Personally, I lived at the International House and I could rave about it all day. I absolutely loved it. It's a great community with international students from all over the world, and they host a lot of cultural events and activities. You have a dining hall, you have an auditorium with events and conferences all the time. Just an incredible place to be. The co-ops are a bit more affordable, but also incredible co-living spaces where you can make great friends. And then there's other options such as finding a private apartment, but these are not guaranteed.
Thanks, Maureen. Next slide, Sarah. Okay, and then for finances, I'll go a little bit into detail about that. So students will pay fees directly to the campus that you attend, meaning that your first 2 years, you're going to pay directly to Sciences Po or HKU, and your second 2 years, you'll pay to UC Berkeley. So for Sciences Po, for those of you that are not within the EU economic area, you'll pay the flat rate. For this year, it was 14,000 euros, about 15,000 euros, which is actually pretty reasonable. That's for the whole year of tuition. And for HKU, it's about equivalent to 23,000 USD a year. Again, very reasonable, and housing expenses and living expenses in both of these places tend to be pretty reasonable. So it's actually, even for a California resident, it tends to be cheaper to live in one of these places. The other nice piece is that now all students that qualify for federal or California state financial aid can use it for all 4 years of the program, meaning that if you're a Pell Grant student, if you're a Cal Grant student, if you're getting any grants or loans, you can take that all with you and it will get repackaged based on the cost of your program. So we'll repackage you in the beginning of the semester. You'll get paid out based on what you would pay at Sciences Po or HKU, which is a really great option for students that cannot afford, obviously, to pay out of pocket. And then at Berkeley, you're going to pay based on whether you're a California resident or out of state or international student, and which is called non-resident tuition. And then again, plus housing and fees. So if you are wanting to use financial aid, this is a great option. And I'm happy to go into this in more detail too. Next slide. So just briefly, admissions, because it gets a little bit confusing now that you know about the program. If you're interested in applying, you're going to complete 2 applications. So you're going to complete the general UC, the University of California application. So if you're applying to Berkeley or UCLA or UC San Diego, all of those campuses, you're going to use the exact same application. It's open and it's available if you're applying this year. And then you will also do a supplemental dual degree application, which can be found on our website, which we will have at the end. It's a personal essay about why you want to do the program and specifically the campus you want to apply, as well as some personal information about you, the major that you're going to select, nationality, things like that. If you're an international student, you may be required to take the TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo, and you can always check in with us if that is a requirement. And then both applications are due for this year on December 2nd. So they will be due on December 2nd. For most years, it's November 30th, but it's the same timeline as what the UC system requires. And so students will complete both applications. On the supplemental application, it will ask you for your UC app ID. You'll input that, and then we'll link the two so that we know you're applying to the dual degree. By nature of applying to the dual degree, you are also applying to the 4-year Berkeley program. So it is a nice feature in the sense that if for some reason the dual degree does not admit you, you still may be admitted to the 4-year Berkeley program. And if you're admitted to the dual degree, you could choose to come to Berkeley for all 4 years if you wanted it, if it decided whatever reason it wasn't a good fit for you at that time. For the Sciences Po program, you'll be notified for early admission, meaning that you'll be selected for an interview in January, and then you're notified acceptance in sometime in February. For HKU, it's a regular admission schedule. There are some interviews that they do, but it's not a requirement. They'll do them only for specific students, and you're notified in March about that. Next slide. So in case you're super confused, this is the timeline of the application. So again, applications opened on the 1st. Our supplemental application opened this year on the 3rd of September. So both applications are open. You can start submitting now. And again, you want to submit by no later than December 2nd. January and February are when interviews take place. You get admissions sometime in March or February, and then May 1st is the deadline to accept the program offer. Next slide. And I think this is the last slide. I'm going to have Maureen talk a little bit about her experience and how she thinks the program benefits students, and then we'll kick it over to our next presenter.
Yeah, so students get the chance to study and immerse themselves in 2 different cultures and learn from the best faculty in the world in both Europe or Asia and in the US. So at Sciences Po, I truly loved having the opportunity to learn from professors who are experts in their field. Getting the European perspective on fields such as international relations was really important and interesting for me, especially being able to compare that from American perspectives when I went back to Berkeley. So you do get incredible learning environments with great faculty, great teachers who are always accessible and there to support you and help you. At Sciences Po, you also do have much smaller class sizes than at Berkeley, so you can expect to be in courses with 15 to 20 students, which I really loved. It allowed for great discussion. It makes you more involved in your courses. You get to know your professors, and you really immerse yourself in the social science environment that everyone else around you is very invested in, because again, this school caters to social science students, so everyone in your courses is going to have similar interests as you, but different perspectives as they're coming from all over the world. Students will again deeply engage with the world beyond Berkeley's campus. So you're going to have opportunities to do internships. You're going to have opportunities to meet with students from all over the world, professors from all over the world, talk about topics that go beyond Berkeley. So it truly gives you an international experience in all senses of the term. You get one-on-one dedicated advising from admission to graduation, as I had mentioned before. You'll be very prepared for the rigor at UC Berkeley. After your time abroad, a lot of Sciences Po students say that Berkeley is easier than Sciences Po. So I probably shouldn't be saying that to tell you that you can take a break when you get to Berkeley, but it does mean that Sciences Po does a great job at preparing you, and that you shouldn't be worried about not having the same level or competencies as other Berkeley students who have been there for 2 years prior. You really come in feeling like you're at the same level and that you can take on the Berkeley course load. You'll be experiencing your academic journey at both a top-tier research university and a small liberal arts university. So as I had mentioned, small class environment at Sciences Po, and then you get to a huge American college campus. So 2 different experiences that are both unique and fun and inspiring in their own ways. Great alumni network from 2 institutions. The Sciences Po alumni network is very strong. I mean, I've been in DC for 2 months now, and I've been to 2 Sciences Po alumni events already. And so I've been meeting a lot of people who did the Sciences Po Berkeley dual degree, but also lots of other Sciences Po programs. So you definitely feel the network, that alumni network after you leave Sciences Po and even when you leave Berkeley. And these are all students that, in my experience, have been super helpful and kind and willing to advise me, give me advice for what to do after Berkeley. So definitely students that you can rely on and count on. And then it does set students apart in graduate schools and job applications. I mean, you're doing 2 degrees, whereas people who are in a normal 4-year track are just doing 1. So it definitely sets you up for success, and you've accumulated a ton of experiences over these 4 years that are sure to set you apart. One of which, for example, is, as Amber mentioned, you can do UCDC when you get to Berkeley, where you do a semester in DC. So the program doesn't limit you from not doing the opportunities at Berkeley that 4-year students at Berkeley can do. So overall, I love this program. I highly encourage you to apply. It's a great experience, and you'll learn a lot.
Thanks, Maureen. I appreciate it. Thanks, everyone. Sarah?
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Amber. Thank you, Amarine. Thank you for turning it over to me. As a reminder, my name is Sarah Asadi-Neek. I am the program coordinator for our Global Edge program here at UC Berkeley, which is a really unique program that we have here, which is designed specifically for newly admitted Berkeley first-year students. So Global Edge is a cohort-based program, and the program is open to newly admitted Berkeley freshmen within the Colleges of Letters and Science, the Rausser College of Natural Resources, CDSS, and the Haas Speaker Program. And students within our Global Edge cohort start by spending their summer taking Berkeley courses, then their fall semester studying abroad in London. So on Global Edge, students begin by taking 2 summer sessions courses. They can choose to reside on campus with fellow members of their cohort. And throughout the summer, Global Edge students really get a head start on the Berkeley experience. And at the end of the summer session, the full cohort travels together to London and takes 4 Berkeley courses at the Accent London Study Center for the fall semester. Global Edge coursework during the summer and fall are designed to fulfill a number of Berkeley's breadth requirements. These are undergraduate requirements for all Berkeley students. And additionally, from a cost perspective, the Global Edge program is budgeted to be roughly equal to a traditional semester on campus. And students who are eligible for financial aid are able to apply summer and fall aid to these program costs. Now, I've mentioned this, one of the key elements of Global Edge is this cohort experience. The cohort is built of fellow Berkeley freshmen from various backgrounds and various majors. Our cohort size this year is 44 students. Generally, our program ranges between 40 and 55 students. And year after year, our students return to campus and give us really consistent feedback that Global Edge has led them to finding their closest friends in their Berkeley community. And students return from this program in the spring semester with a gained global perspective, leaps and bounds in growth in independence and self-sufficiency, and again, a really strong sense of community at the university. Statistically, we also find that many of our Global Edge students do end up studying abroad at least one more time through their time at Berkeley as well. So to give you an idea of the demographics of the Global Edge cohort, you'll see that a wide variety of students choose this pathway to start their Berkeley experience. You're able to interact with peers from various parts of the US and the world at large. You'll also notice that students who choose Global Edge aren't overwhelmingly within one academic path. We have students who participate on the program pursuing a variety of majors from global studies to data science to, say, pre-med tracks like molecular and cell biology. Since the nature of the coursework is designed around the college writing series and our Berkeley breadth requirements, the curriculum is a really great fit for a variety of Berkeley students, and that's including students within STEM fields across the colleges of LNS, CDSS, and the Rouser College. So the Global Edge program is designed to give students a global perspective, and this is definitely reflected in the program course offerings, which you see on this slide. In London, students won't just be taking a theater course, you could be taking the London Theater course, where every other week students attend theater productions in London at incredible venues in the West End and beyond. You might be taking the ever popular London Museums course, where students visit various museums and galleries throughout the city, really tapping into local history and culture. And students on the Global Edge program really benefit from an experiential learning model that's focused on a sense of integration between the City of London and the classroom. So to give you an idea of Berkeley's Global Edge course offerings, again, each of these courses are designed to fulfill UC Berkeley's various breadth requirements. So during the summer, students will take 2 courses, that's Reading and Composition R4A and Philosophy 2, Individual Morality and Social Justice. And during the fall semester in London, students' core course will be the second half of the Reading and Composition course, that's R4B, in addition to 3 electives. And the full list of elective offerings are as follows: London Museums and London Theatre, which I've mentioned. We also offer Math 1A Calculus, Ancient Philosophy, and Comparative Politics. The courses in London are taught by UK-based faculty. These are often professors who also teach at King's College or University College London. They are selected by UC Berkeley. And the courses that our Global Edge students take in London are Berkeley courses and are applied to your transcript for Berkeley credit. So one question that we often receive from students who are considering Global Edge is that they have the impression that they might be behind in their coursework after returning from London. And actually, it's quite the opposite. Many of our students are actually ahead of their peers when they return for the spring semester, since they've taken Berkeley core courses and fulfilled so many of their breadth requirements during the summer and fall. So again, the Global Edge program does begin during the Berkeley summer session. The summer component is a required portion of the program. And the summer is really when the Global Edge experience begins. Summer sessions courses would begin in mid-June. During the summer, students will be taking their 2 courses, living in the dorms on campus if they choose to, and really getting to know and exploring Berkeley. Space is reserved for Global Edge participants in Blackwell Hall during the summer. And during the summer in Berkeley, students also participate in workshops that cover academic advising, academic planning for the spring, and financial aid. And throughout the summer, Global Edge participants are also connected to dedicated program advisors and academic advisors, have opportunities for one-on-one touch points with these advisors throughout the summer. In the summer, we'll also do a thorough pre-departure orientation before students head to London that covers everything from packing to cell phones to health and safety abroad. On the final day of the Berkeley summer session in early August, Global Edge students will be traveling together on a group flight from SFO. Our staff will chaperone the cohort over from Berkeley campus to SFO and on to London. After we arrive, the Global Edge cohort will move into their apartments. After settling in, begin their week-long London orientation, which really assists in a fun and smooth transition into their new home in London. An orientation week is an in-depth kickoff to the semester abroad. It includes an introduction to housing and academic facilities. There's a really fun double-decker bus city tour. There's training on utilizing local transportation, the tube in London. There are academic and cultural orientations and information about health and safety in London. There are also really fun cultural activities like afternoon tea, theater performances, and a day trip outside of London. Now, during the semester in London, students' home base for their courses and on-site assistance and extracurricular activities is going to be the Accent London Study Centre, and that's located in the historic Bloomsbury district in London. That is the academic hub in London. The study center is our students' mini London campus. It's run by an amazing local staff who are there to guide and support students throughout the semester. So after this orientation week concludes, students then begin their courses. They live and study in London. Many of our students do a bit of traveling inside and outside the UK during the weekends. Now, while in London, our students reside in shared student apartments. All of our students will reside in one centrally located apartment building. They'll have 2 RAs on site in their housing. And throughout the semester, students gain practical experience grocery shopping, cooking for themselves, and riding London's local public transportation to and from their housing. Now, students on Global Edge will conclude their program in late November. Subsequently, they return to campus for the spring semester. Note that students who do participate on Global Edge are guaranteed campus housing for the spring semester. And after moving back into campus housing, students attend Golden Bear orientation. Many students also join various clubs, activities, sports, and Greek organizations when they return in the spring. Next, I'd like to importantly discuss financial aid and program costs. Now, as I've mentioned, the Global Edge program is designed specifically to be roughly equal to the cost of a traditional semester at Berkeley. Financial aid is available for eligible students who submit the FAFSA, and aid can be applied to both the summer term at Berkeley and the fall semester in London. So if students are eligible and will be receiving financial aid at Berkeley, and you do decide to participate on Global Edge, the financial aid office will package aid with the program costs in consideration. If you're interested in seeing a full cost breakdown, you can head to the costs section of our Global Edge website. So folks, there are a few eligibility requirements to be aware of for students considering Global Edge. Students do need to be a newly admitted Berkeley freshman in the College of Letters and Science, the Rausser College of Natural Resources, the Haas Speaker Program, or CDSS, the College of Computing, Data Science, and Society. You do need to be 18 years old by our August 15th, 2025 departure date. And you do need to hold a valid US or UK passport at the time of the registration for the program. Do keep in mind that international students are absolutely eligible for Global Edge as long as they're able to apply for a UK standard visitor visa. So if you are an international student and you're interested in joining Global Edge, you can email us at globaledge@berkeley.edu, and we'll be able to confirm your visa eligibility. So if you are admitted to UC Berkeley and meet the eligibility criteria that you see here on this slide, you should see Global Edge as an available option for selection by logging into your Map at Berkeley admissions account, navigating to your first year pathways selection form, which is available in that admissions portal, and selecting Global Edge as your first year pathway. We will then send you information about the simple next steps to complete your program registration. So lastly, I was hoping to just give you all an important overview of some of the key dates as far as Global Edge goes. Now, May 2nd is usually when Global Edge registration closes. That's the deadline by which admitted students will need to indicate their selection of Global Edge within their first year pathway selection form in their Map at Berkeley account. Now, registrations for Global Edge are processed on a first come, first served basis, but it's a non-competitive registration process. So if you are interested in joining the program, we do encourage you to submit your registration by this deadline, and you should be guaranteed participation on the program. A few more dates to keep in mind for Global Edge for 2025 is that June 23rd of next year is the start of summer session C. That's the first day of summer classes for Global Edge. And August 15th, 2025 is our group departure date for London. Now, folks, we know that the student experience is so key to this unique program. So to wrap things up, I wanted to share with you all a quick video of one of our recent Global Edge alumni, Alanis, who has her perspective to share on the program.
Hi, my name is Alanis White, and I'm a first year majoring in political science in LNS, and for my freshman pathway, I chose to participate in the 2023 Global Edge program. This meant that my first semester at Cal actually took place in London. I'm a first-generation college student, and I never had the opportunity to travel much growing up, so for me, this was the opportunity of a lifetime that I just had to take. With my experiences in mind, I think some key things that students need to know when considering the Global Edge program are that your financial aid transfers over seamlessly, especially because the program costs about the same as having your first semester actually at Cal. Then you cover most of your breadth requirements while abroad, so it helps you get ahead. And you take some of the coolest classes to do so. There's one where you can travel and go see the different museums all scattered about London. Additionally, there's of course the travel aspect, and you meet some of your best friends in this program. I've been living with the same roommate from the start of the program until now. So I think those are some of the key things that make this program so awesome.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alanis. All right, folks, I hope that was a helpful overview of our Global Edge program.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining our webinar today on dual degrees in the Global Edge program here at UC Berkeley. A recording of today's webinar will be made available for viewing on our website soon, and all participants and registrants will receive the recording via email. We hope the information you received this evening is helpful, and we encourage you to check out other informational webinars this fall as part of our Believe, Build, and Belong fall webinar series. With that said, thank you all for joining us, and we hope you have a wonderful evening ahead. Bye.